I think something that a lot of people need to accept is that you just can't control everything, you know? It's just like some things are out of your control. And there's certain like situations you might be in or something that happens to you that you literally can't do anything about. And I think people need to, or you know, when people are in those situations, they need to realize, okay, I can't do anything about it. I can either be upset about it, which doesn't really help because it's not like I can do anything anyways, or I can try and figure something out. Maybe I can do something else to make you feel better. I think the most important thing in like almost any situation is just acceptance, and that comes with that too. When you can't do anything about something, you have no control over things, you have to accept it. It's just a way of life. And I think it's almost like so many people are so afraid of not having control over things or feeling out of control, and sometimes you just need to sit back and relax and go with the flow. I think that is how you really become a lot happier, once you realize that some things are out of your control, and that's okay. You don't have to control everything. Some things don't go your way, and that's fine, because if everything did, that wouldn't be very good either, you know? If everybody just got everything that they wanted and, you know, life was so easy, we wouldn't appreciate anything. That's why people say, like, without the good, there would be no bad. Like, if everything was just all good, life would be so boring. Like, what is life without the good and the bad, you know? It's just, I feel like life has no meaning, almost, with that. And people need to learn to appreciate all aspects of life. Which also, I think a part of that comes with, like, not labeling things as well, you know, good and bad. Sometimes things just are, and that's a part of it too. Like, you don't always have to put a label on everything, and like, I think people just need to learn how to relax more, acceptance, self-acceptance, and love. Those are what I think that people need more of. Yeah. So, yeah. But the biggest thing is acceptance. I believe that acceptance can help with almost any situation. Like, not help, but that's the first step, is acceptance. You can be anxious about something, you can be upset, you can be whatever, but at the end of the day, you have to accept it. Okay, this is what it is. This is what's happening. What can I do about it? Can I do something about it? If you can do something about it, great. If you can't, great too, okay? That's just how things go. Sometimes there's nothing you can do. It's out of your control. And like I said, that's okay. But people are so afraid of not having control. People need to just let go more, I feel like, you know? Let life go how it goes, you know? Like, whatever's meant to happen for you will happen. And you're not always gonna have control. Like, that's the point. And until you become okay with that, whenever you don't have control, you're gonna find yourself being anxious, stressed. It's just not what you're used to. But instead of, I think it comes from a fear of like losing control, but a fear of like not knowing how things might go. Or, you know, people always think like they know the best. Sometimes you don't, and sometimes, you know, things might not go your way. But a lot of the times, you know, you hear people say, oh, I might have wanted this at this time, but I'm glad it didn't happen, because it would have ended up not being good for me, or just not being positive and stuff. That's the thing that people need to realize. It's like, we don't know everything, and you can either look at that in a scary way and be like, oh, I don't know, you know, we don't know a lot of things, or you can kind of find peace with that and be like, you know what, I don't know everything. And sometimes when things happen, you know, I might not know the reason, I might not be very clear on it, I might be confused, but at the end of the day, like, I don't know everything. And then you ask yourself the same question: can I even do anything about the situation? What can I do? Or am I gonna allow it to keep on bothering me? because I think that's really what it is. Like, you allowed things to bother you, and obviously it's easier said than done, but there comes a point where you stop allowing certain things to bother you, and you notice that certain things that maybe used to bother you before, or used to aggravate you, don't anymore. And I think that's really a beautiful thing when you start to realize, like, wow, all this time I've taken into thinking about things and just trying to accept the way things are and the way my life is and what's happening. And I think it's really beautiful when you start to realize, like, I'm starting to feel less anxious, I feel less stressed. You just start to have a better quality of life, I feel like, when you let go and when you're not stressed, literally. Like, when you're not stressed, life is just so much better. Stress kills you. Stress causes so many problems. And I know it's easier to say, oh, don't be stressed, than it is to actually, like, do it. But I do, like, more people need to actually put in the energy to think about how they think about their life and make those improvements, And I think we'd all have just a better quality of life if we all thought that way.